Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is evenleasesc, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me, the AEGIS Vanguard Harbinger. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, welcome back to another review. Today, the Vanguard Harbinger, a heavy fighter bomber by AEGIS. Now, you guys have been entering into the giveaway that's currently going on, and that's pretty awesome. I love to see all the comments. Reading about what you guys love about sci-fi is just truly astonishing. I just love to see everybody's different perspectives, whether it's a movie, a book, the reality of real space travel, all of it. It's just really cool to read. So keep entering if you already haven't. Yeah, the giveaway ends on the 27th. So going into this ship and its review here, the Vanguard Harbinger sits at $290 if you were to buy it on the Pledge store, or if you buy it in-game, it's $11,510,100 aUEC. Now, prior, when I last reviewed this ship, that price dramatically increased because this ship used to be only 2 million aUEC in-game, and now it's 11 million. But that's not the only thing to change about this ship, so let's go ahead and get into that. First of all, this is definitely a heavy fighter, and by that, it has a ton of DPS. It has 3,697 DPS, which actually used to be 2,186 DPS because it had a size 4 gun on the nose. Now it has a size 5 Deadbolt 5 ballistic cannon, which is just really amazing. Outside of that, it does have the 4 size 2 CVSA ballistic cannons right there at the nose, which you can definitely swap out if you wanted to. And then you also have a manned turret at the top of the ship with a size 3 Jericho XL rocket pod, which is kind of, honestly, in my opinion, useless, but I just haven't had too much experience with it. I've always just swapped that out for something else. Now, outside of the really big guns that output really big damage, this thing does have 4 Ignite 2 missiles, which are also size 2, 4 Arrestor 3 missiles, 4 Dominator 2 missiles, and 3 Stalker 5 torpedoes. This thing is considered a heavy fighter, but it's also considered a bomber, and by bomber, it means it just throws really big rockets or torpedoes at the target until that target no longer exists, which is, it does really good job at that. Honestly, the amount of damage this thing outputs is just phenomenal, and even now with master modes, it still flies really great, and I think it's just, you know, it really wasn't affected too much with all the changes, thankfully. Not yet, at least. We'll see how future changes hit this ship. Now, as of right now, it does have 12,000 bubble shield. It used to be 14,200, so that went down just a little bit, but it's still not a bad change. You're still sitting at over 10,000 shield, which is good. And then you also have 50,480 ship HP, which is kind of the difference because it used to be only 42,000 ship HP, so it went up quite a bit, and that's just truly amazing because this is a heavy fighter and is supposed to stay in a fight for a pretty long time. And talking about that, heavy fighter, some of them have interiors, some of them don't. This one does, which I'm going to hop into here in just a second. Now, as we take a look at the outside of this beautiful ship, it is really just quite the Aegis design, and I honestly think, why wouldn't you want to fly this thing, right? There's a couple other variants you'd also, you know, can take a look at, like the Sentinel, which is a very good one, or if you don't want to spend too much, you got the Vanguard Warden, which is also a good variant to have. Now this one, if we take a look on the interior, I'm going to head up this nice little ramp right here. It does carry 1.85 SCU of internal inventory, but as of right now, I can't find any way to access that, which is just too bad. So no access points for that. As you enter this ship here, if you were to close the door, you can go ahead and gain access to some of your components in here. One of them is right here at the back, which is the quantum drive. Now, moving into the main living area here, to the right, you do have a munitions locker where you can store your weapons, which is truly awesome. And then you have a nice kitchenette with a very good looking area to store food and some drinks. Right here is the engineer or torpedo station that you can control your torpedoes and make sure you're loaded and good to go. I only shot one off and I should still have two. I don't know where they're at. But this is the engineer station where you'll probably have to control some of your ship. And if you turn around, you have two very nice looking beds for your pilot and your turret gunner, which the turret usually sits right up here, so pretty cool. Now, if you go back just a little bit further, you do have a storage access area, but when you click that, it just opens up and you can't actually, gain access to your inventory. So too bad, too bad. And then right next to that is the infamous bathroom that you used to actually fall through when you walked in. Now, no more. Whoa, I still can't see myself. Disappointing. Otherwise, you do have a very nice bathroom with a toilet that I will not be touching, and also a shower. And if you go ahead and look here, this is a very beautiful mirror with a little bit of damage. Oh, I don't really like walking into these bathrooms. Moving on here, you can access more components by lifting the ramp here at the stairwell. Nothing there yet. If I was to close that, you have more components to your right and to your left. Now, before we go into a quick battle against some AI NPCs, because of the fact that I can't get any player bounties, I just want to let you know this ship has a top speed of 219 SCM with a forward boost of 466, a backwards boost of 226, and a nav speed of 1,115, which, by the way, all those ship speeds went up since 3.23 hit the live version, so that is pretty awesome. Gotta love to see that. And as I've said prior, this ship still retains a lot of its maneuverability, so it's quite the heavy fighter. It also has 2,500 quantum fuel, so when you're out there attacking targets and needing to jump from, bounty to bounty or from raid to raid, you definitely have a ship that can do it without having to go back to a R&R too quickly. But you are limited by your ballistic ammo, so when you're back rearming anyways, you might as well just top off the fuel tank. Now let's go ahead and attack some NPCs really quick. As we're closing in on our bounty here, you have to be very aware of the real big negative on this ship, and it's really the only negative in my opinion, is that the EM rating on it is massive. So ships will be able to detect you on radar from 20 plus kilometers out, as your standard EM rating is 29,000. So, I'm still a good ways away right now, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be detected any moment as my EM is sitting around 38,000 while I'm in nav mode. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on. Now, let's go ahead and attack these NPC targets. Honestly, this ship had no problem taking out those 3 targets. It was a matter of just a few shots. It was just all about me hitting them, and I just wasn't being that accurate. But outside of that, this ship performed phenomenally, didn't take any damage, never dropped shields. That's what you expect when you're flying a ship like this, and it's just such a fantastic ship to go against any sort of NPC bounties or even player bounties, depending on who you're facing off with. Obviously, you got to be kind of careful if you're facing against a smaller ship like an Arrow or a Gladius or something very maneuverable, because they could potentially outturn you and quite easily. So be very wary about what target you're tracking. Now, my review on this ship is going to be a 9 out of 10 because it is just such a phenomenal ship, and really the only big negative is that EM rating, making you very visible from a very long distance away. So let me know what you think of the Vanguard Harbinger down below in the comments. Is this one your favorite out of the Vanguard series, or is it the Sentinel, the Warden, the Hoplite? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.